It's Tuesday, October 25th. This is a Fox News alert. An urgent manhunt happening right now for the crazed killer who opened fire on 2 police officers.
Letting y'all know, look, this is real. See? That's a gun. That's the real deal. This ain't a joke. This ain't a prank.
The suspect leaving behind a trail of violence and streaming his escape live on Facebook.
2 weeks until America elects its next president, and it is down to the wire. Both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton looking to win over voters in the must-win state of Florida.
You can already get your absentee ballot. Get out, get it. Let's start the voting.
And there's some brand new evidence showing Clinton's direct involvement, some say, in trying to smear Trump.
And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, another Samsung phone just exploded. But get this, it's not that Galaxy Note 7 which explodes. Uh-oh. What every consumer needs to know, Fox and Friends First starts right now. So nice.
Good morning to you. It is going to be a lovely day. Our very own Kelly Wright actually sings that song in his show here in New York City.
He does. I think he's singing it over in the studio right now. It doesn't get any better when Bill Withers kicks off your morning.
Absolutely. So nice. It's going to be a good day. You're watching Fox and Friends First. I'm Heather Childers.
And don't you have one of those Samsung phones?
I do, and I hope that that's not the same one, but we'll find out.
We'll find out. I'm Clayton Morris. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for starting your day with us. We begin with the race for the White House. Exactly 2 weeks until America elects our next president. And Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton have their eyes locked on the key battleground state of Florida.
Kristen Fisher's live for us in Washington with some brand new polls showing just how close the race is. Good morning, Kristen.
Good morning. So even though Trump's own campaign manager has conceded that he's behind, the candidate himself is refusing to do so. In fact, he's saying the exact opposite. Yesterday, during several stops across Florida, Trump said he's winning, and every poll that shows him losing is wrong.
These are what they call them dark polls. They are phony polls put out by phony media. They try and suppress the vote. This way people don't go out and vote. But we're winning this race. I really believe we're winning. There's never been anything like this.
But almost every major poll tells a totally different story. This one from CNN ORC out yesterday is Clinton ahead by 5 points, 44 to 49. That margin is almost identical to the Real Clear Politics average of polls. But another one from Monmouth University is a little bit better for Trump. It has Clinton ahead by just 1 point, 47 to 46. Still, with 2 weeks to go, the Clinton campaign is confident. So much so that they're now spending valuable time helping down-ballot Democrats try to retake the Senate. Yesterday, Clinton campaigned with New Hampshire Governor Maggie Hassan, who's locked in a tight Senate race against the Republican incumbent Kelly Ayotte. But it was Senator Elizabeth Warren who delivered the most memorable line of the day by seizing upon something that Trump said during the last debate.
He thinks that because he has money, that he can call women fat pigs and bimbos. Women have had it with guys like you. Nasty women are tough. Nasty women are smart. And nasty women vote.
And many of those women and other Americans are already voting in Florida, where early voting started yesterday, which is why that's where both Trump and Clinton will spend almost all of their time today, with 2 weeks to go exactly until Election Day.
Did you ever think
Heather
we'd get
Clayton.
here?
I did not.
It's almost
it seems
over.
Like we've been doing this for 5 years now.
We have. Back in 2010, we started this race. Good to see you this morning, Kristen.
Thank you.
See you guys.
More trouble for the Clinton campaign as a third bombshell video exposing illegal coordination between Hillary Clinton and PACs. It also confirms Clinton personally ordered Donald Duck to troll Donald Trump. Kelly Wright is here with what exactly the new video shows. Good morning, Kelly.
I almost said quack, quack, but I won't. For a while this summer, Donald Duck emerged as a prominent figure on the campaign trail. Costumed figures resembling the Disney character, as captured by Fox News cameras, showed up at Trump rallies outside his Washington hotel, even harassing surrogates in Congress, each time chastising the GOP nominee for ducking releasing tax returns. And now, in the latest undercover video from Project Veritas, we hear once again from Bob Creamer, the former DNC consultant whose contract was severed after the first Project Veritas video last week. Creamer says that Hillary Clinton is behind the Donald Duck's operation.
In the end, it was the candidate, Hillary Clinton, the future president of the United States, who wanted ducks on the ground. darts on the ground.
Oh, so it's wow.
Don't repeat that sentence.
Okay.
Creamer also alleges that Donna Brazil, now the interim DNC chair, intervened to get the operation moved from the DNC to a progressive group called Americans United for Change because she purportedly feared trademark trouble with Disney. Yet at one point in the new video, an assistant press secretary says the committee still had a hand in the operation.
So we're not taking credit for the ducking one. That's like random outing groups. But it's also something that we're involved in. We just have to be careful about these things and the way we talk about them and we know about certain things. But you guys are, I trust that they'll all be fine.
Now here's something else. Neither the Clinton campaign nor the DNC responded to our request for comment. However, in response to last week's videos, both accused Veritas of selective editing. Heather?
Interesting. Donald Duck now involved in all this. How'd that happen?
Disney has a problem with it. Thanks,
Yeah,
Kelly.
I bet. Thank you, Kelly. Well, Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clark, meantime, he is slamming the Democrats, saying that they will do whatever it takes to win the election.
Democrat operatives are some scummy, scummy people. Every time we think we've reached the bottom of the sewer with them, we find out we have a long way to go. They are up to their eyeballs in corruption. Their model to win elections is to cheat, lie, and steal, and then if they get caught, to just send their minions out to deny. You look at what's going on here, and we haven't seen the end of it, but really what I find problematic is that the Democrats don't care how they win elections. They just care that they win elections.
And take a look at this Fox News poll. It was released last month, and it finds that 64% of voters think Hillary Clinton is untrustworthy.
Into a Fox News alert now, an all-out manhunt intensifying by the minute for a crazed killer and cop shooter who could be anywhere. Police say Michael Vance posted videos live to Facebook while running from police. And he's accused of killing his aunt and uncle and shooting 2 cops with an AK-47. And all of the horror unfolding outside of Oklahoma City.
That's a gun. That's the real deal. This ain't a joke. This ain't a prank. I'm going live. If you want to know what's up next, stay tuned to your local news.
Police warning Vance is armed and dangerous and may be driving this silver 2007 Mitsubishi Eclipse sedan.
A critical search underway by air, land, and water, ramping up by the hour for missing college student Zuzu Verk. A reward now at $100,000 as police and her family plead for her on-again, off-again boyfriend, Robert Fabian, to come forward. Now, she was last heard from 2 weeks ago. This was after they went on a date in Southwest Texas. Police now calling him a person of interest.
Nearly 800 terrorists confirmed dead as U.S. troops meet heavy resistance overnight in the fight to take Mosul. A Pentagon spokesman says jihadists poured burning oil into a sulfur mine, sending toxic fumes into the air and forcing soldiers to wear gas masks. They've retaken 78 towns and villages from the grasps of terror since the mission launched last week.
Disgraceful and insulting. That is what lawmakers are calling the Pentagon's plan to force 10,000 veterans to pay back their re-enlistment bonuses. We told you about this yesterday. Even more shocking, the National Guard now saying that it warned Congress about this 2 years ago.
It's terrible. It's going to make, we are going to go broke. I mean, if this continues, we're already using up our savings to pay for it.
And coming up at 7:20, California Representative Kevin McCarthy will join Fox and Friends to explain what lawmakers are doing to help our heroes.
All right. Well, it is time to check in with Adam Klotz from our affiliate WAGA in Atlanta, and he's here doing the weather for us this morning. Adam, nice to meet you.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Yeah.
It's awesome to be here.
Have we welcomed you with open arms? Do we get
Yes, this place is so friendly, just as friendly as everyone watching on TV thinks it is. That's what it is here.
pastries and coffee? I think we got out of
yeah.
You do?
Drinking my coffee with a straw this morning. So you're from Atlanta. My sister's actually a school teacher down that way. How long have you been involved in doing the weather? Tell us a little bit.
Doing the weather for 5 5, 6 years now. Been in Atlanta a little over 2 years. Love that city. Great people in Georgia. Just a wonderful place to live. It really is.
Great.
And it's just, you have some heartland roots too, right? So Indiana.
Yeah, from Indiana, Warsaw, Indiana. So shout out to my Tigers, my Warsaw Tigers. Eventually went to Ball State. My mom still lives in Indiana. My dad, my brother still live in Indiana.
Well, Ball State. So you've got a David Letterman connection.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he built the broadcasting studio at Ball State, right?
Oh yeah, we've got a David Letterman building. He comes back. He brought Oprah back. It was always so cool in school.
And I think there's a plaque there at Ball State that says, "To every C student before and after me."
Yeah.
Were you a C student?
I swung. Yeah. David Letterman set that up for me, and I just came on through.
Well, you're also a Colts fan, though, so we may have a problem there because I'm a big Carolina Panthers fan, but you like sports a lot.
Yeah, well, then we're both in trouble this season. Yeah. So
Carolina Panthers.
We are.
both in trouble.
What is going on there? I don't know.
So we see some, what are you, a thrill seeker? Look at this. So skydiving as well, and I also read that you run with the bulls in Pamplona.
Yeah, that was maybe the coolest thing I've ever done right there.
So you're crazy,
Are you nuts?
is what you're telling us.
Are you nuts?
I just stand up here with you guys. I feel like I
Good
must
to
be
know.
nuts. Yeah.
Good to know. Yeah.
Hey, yeah, doing some thrill-seeking stuff. To our own Janice Dean is equally crazy.
Yeah.
She's
So
in the
you'll
studio.
fit right in.
Yeah. How did you fall in love with the weather? I mean, everyone has this passion about the weather when they're meteorologists.
You know, I just grew up watching storms. I lived on the lake in northern Indiana, and you could watch those thunderstorms roll across the lake, and it's gorgeous. It's great to be in. Only problem now is I'm in the studio every time there's a big storm, and I would love to kind of be out in it too.
Hey, well,
We can change that.
we may send you out there. We've had a lot of crazy weather recently. We had Hurricane Matthew. Also, we have some extreme flooding that we need to talk about today as well.
Yeah, big rains out into the northwest once again, and then we're also going to be talking about just heavy showers off and on throughout the entire country. And we're also talking about weather finally cooling off a little bit. That's the case in the northeast. You're looking at temperatures falling down 47 degrees currently here in New York City, 49 degrees getting you up into the Cleveland area. Warmer air pooling up in the center of the country. That's going to be one of the big stories. 24-hour temperature change anywhere from 15, some cases getting up to 20 degrees warmer here this morning in the middle of the country. So we're looking at that warmer weather, but look closely at what's happening up in the northeast. That is going to be important here in the next couple of days, as we could be talking about snow. The first snow, I know it, the first snow of the year. People are already getting nervous about this. So again, rain throughout the northwest today. But on your future radar, I want to talk about possibly some severe weather firing up on Wednesday in the middle of the country. And then what about that snow? When will that arrive? Continue to run this out. Thursday into Friday, upper levels getting up here into the northeast, the first snowfall of the year. Kind of crazy to be thinking about it this early in the year, but it's just around the corner, guys.
Four-letter word. He's already using four-letter words. What are we going to do with you?
Thanks, Adam.
Yep.
Great to meet you.
Thanks, Adam. Well, the time now is 11 minutes after the top of the hour, and election rigging allegations just got real.
We are going to fix our rigged system. It's a rigged, broken, corrupt system. It's rigged. It's broken. It's corrupt.
The brand new concerns over voting machines linked to a leftist billionaire in more than a dozen states.
Angels under attack, a terrifying new warning about terrorists targeting the Victoria's Secret fashion show.
No.
Nothing sacred.
And Britney Spears, she did it again, a mid-show malfunction that has everyone talking. Welcome back to Fox & Friends' first WikiLeaks, dumping batch number 17 of John Podesta's emails. The latest drop backing up Donald Trump's crusade against the mainstream media.
The press has created a rigged system. Without the media and all of the other corrupt entities that have helped her along the way, she would be nothing.
New emails revealing 65 reporters worked closely with the Clinton campaign. Many were even invited to elite dinners with Podesta. Among them, George Stephanopoulos, Nora O'Donnell, and Savannah Guthrie, but no Fox News reporters.
And a bombshell investigation possibly exposing a top university for stealing millions in taxpayer money and faking research on global warming. The UK gave the London School of Economics an $11 million grant for its work, but the Daily Mail unveiling that it was all done, the research was done by rival scientists, some of it written before the research center was even founded. The school saying, of course, the Daily Mail has it all wrong.
And now to Fox Business Alert for you. Samsung's exploding phone problem just got worse another model. Totally different one, just burst into flames.
I think we saw this one coming. Cheryl Casoni from our sister network, Fox Business, here with what you need to know about these exploding phones. What's up, Cheryl?
Yeah, good morning, guys. Well, in a report in Fortune, unfortunately, it looks like the S7 is now a problem. The S7 Edge, to be specific with all of you, a wireless company employee, remember they've been doing all of those exchanges? They reported that a customer brought in a phone that they had had for 2 weeks, the S7, a replacement device that had exploded, that had caught on fire after 2 weeks of normal use, according to that customers. Now, this is a phone that was also released this year, and there's been some reports, but just a few on the S7. Now, we haven't gotten a comment yet from Samsung, but some overheating and fires potentially with the S7 Edge in particular. That's the model that people need to be concerned about now.
That's the one that Heather has.
My phone. that is definitely my phone.
Keep that thing away from me.
Yeah,
and I keep telling you to go exchange it.
I am going to do that today.
Oh, that's a big problem.
Yeah.
All right, some other concerns this morning over a rigged election. Trump's been beating this drum for a while. Now what?
So this is interesting. Okay, so in 16 states, there's going to be voting machines used by UK companies called Smartmatic. Well, the chairman, the CEO of that company, has very close ties with George Soros. Of course, he is a major Hillary Clinton supporter. There's also concerns about these machines because they were used back in the 2004 Venezuela recall election. Hugo Chavez reports of widespread voter fraud in 2004 in Venezuela. Now the red flag is being raised because in 16 states, including a couple of battleground states, Arizona and Florida, if those machines are going to be used, some are saying they should not be used. So we're going to, of course, keep you posted on that.
Interesting. And a warning from Uber.
This is interesting. So here in New York, there's 3 major airports, right? Well, the manager for Uber here in New York says there is widespread fraud happening to consumers at all 3 of New York's airports. What he says is happening is you walk out of the airport, someone says, oh, you don't need to use your phone app, your Uber app. We'll take care of it for you. But what you're ending up in is an illegal car, basically, an illegal black taxi. And then these consumers are arriving at their destination and they're being charged 400% more than what they would have been charged on Uber. One little 17-year-old girl, this poor thing in Queens, they wanted to charge her $75. It should have been a $12 ride, but luckily her mother stepped in and she has reported that to the company.
You come out and ask them, do you work for Uber? And they said, no, I work for Fluber. It's very similar. Just hop in.
Just say it very quickly.
Just say it very quickly. Got it. We'll take care of it.
They can't scam you.
Yeah. Right. Fluber. All right. Thanks, Cheryl.
Thank you.
Well, the time is now 19 minutes after the hour. And 2 weeks until the election, and Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, both crisscrossing across the swing state of Florida today. So where do things stand now in the battleground states? Scott Rasmussen is up bright and early with us, and he is at the map to check things out next.
Some good information for you there. And is this Tom Hanks or Bill Murray? The viral photo that has the internet stumped.
Huh?
What? I can tell the difference. 14 days, the countdown is on, and Donald Trump is turning his focus to the battleground states in a final push to win over voters. So, where do the states that matter the most stand right now? Here to break it down, senior fellow at the King's College in New York, Scott Rasmussen. Thank you so much for joining us once again.
Great to be with you. It's my Tuesday morning thing.
Yeah, we've been going through this, I was going to say, for months. We're down to 14 days. So we have both candidates that are in Florida today. They're really concentrating on those states where the math could add up for them.
Well, that's the key. It is the Electoral College math that this is all about. You need 270 votes to win the Electoral College and win the presidency. For Donald Trump, that means he starts with the 206 votes that were won by Mitt Romney. Trump has to win every state that Mitt Romney won, and then he still needs to find 64 more Electoral College votes.
All right, so we have some ways that he could possibly do that. There are about, what, 6 states
There's 6 key states we're going to look at here. These 3, North Carolina, Georgia, and Arizona, were all won by Mitt Romney, and they are absolutely essential for Donald Trump to win if he wants to have any chance at all.
So how do they look right now?
Not so good. Not so good right now. North Carolina, Hillary Clinton ahead by about 3 points. Donald Trump does have the edge in Georgia.
Okay.
And in Arizona, very close, but Clinton with a slight edge.
So that's not bad. I mean, this is within the margin of error, and you have a toss-up there.
But remember, all 3 have to be won by Donald Trump. If they split these, it's not good enough.
Doesn't do them any good, okay?
Right. Then We've been talking about these.
Florida, which is, as we mentioned, where they are today.
Where they are today. Ohio, key battleground state. These states were won by Barack Obama 4 years ago. They are, again, must-win states for Donald Trump.
So
there is no way that he can win the presidency without them.
Okay.
Right now, it's a toss-up in Ohio. He's got a half a point advantage, but really all even there. And in Florida, the reason the candidates are both there right now, this is a critical state. Hillary Clinton with a 4-point edge. Donald Trump has to turn that around, along with some of those other states, if he wants to keep moving in the next 2 weeks. But even if he wins all 5 of those states, the 3 that were the battlegrounds that Romney won, Florida and Ohio, that only gets Donald Trump to 253 electoral college votes. He needs 270, so we're searching for 17 more electoral college votes.
Somewhere in the country, okay.
The most direct, most talked about route is Pennsylvania. 20 electoral college votes, always very tempting.
So that would put him over the top.
That's right. If he won those other states and Pennsylvania, he moves into the White House.
But right now he's behind.
He is behind by 6 points.
Okay.
And so, again, the sense is this is a real uphill fight with 2 weeks to go. When you look at the map, these are the 6 states that we're going to be talking about. If he loses any of them, if we get on election night the news that Florida has gone to Clinton, the election is over. If North Carolina goes to Clinton, the election is over. Trump needs to win them all. Now, I could make a case that maybe there's another path out here, which would be...
We've mentioned Wisconsin, we've mentioned Nevada.
Yeah, you got Nevada, you've also got Iowa, you've got New Hampshire. There are a handful of ways you can get there. Michigan is a state in this Rust Belt area that could possibly be there. But truthfully, if he can't win these other states, he's not going to get there through these other paths.
Yeah.
So let's look to these 6 states, watch what happens on election night. Donald Trump is trailing in most of them, but has some time.
And this election has been like none other that we've ever seen, so, you know, anything could happen still. All right, Scott,
thanks,
thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it a lot. Doing the math for us this morning, Clayton.
All right, thanks, Heather. Thanks, Scott. Always great to see you. Well, the time is now 27 minutes after the hour. Time for yoga and a smoothie, a new toy creating a firestorm of controversy for moms. So do you think this toy is sexist?
Who are the vice presidential candidates? We'll start with the Republican.
Sarah Palin.
The other guy, the Democrat, Tim
Horton.
Tim Horton. They make delicious donuts. A campaign quiz for college students. You're not going to want to miss this when we come back.
It is Tuesday, October 25th. The race is on. Early voting underway as new polls show the race tighter than ever. But is it?
These are what they call them dark polls. They are phony polls put out by phony media.
Donald Trump railing against rigged polls as Hillary Clinton lines up new attacks.
In a double-digit hike. Remember when Nancy Pelosi said this about Obamacare?
Affordable. Affordable. There's a reason. Affordable. 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 Affordable.
Well, it looks like the president's health care plan is about to get a lot more expensive.
Expensive.
Less affordable.
Well, angels under attack. Meantime, listen to this. A terrifying new warning about terrorists targeting the Victoria's Secret fashion show. Fox and Friends First continues right now.
Beautiful morning, although Adam was just saying a few minutes ago we could see snow soon already.
Yes.
You go out there and
That'll wake you up this morning.
scrape some frost off your pumpkins. Good morning, everyone. You're watching Fox and Friends First. I'm Clayton Morris.
And I'm Heather Childers. Thank you once again for sticking around or joining us. It is half past the top of the hour, and we are back with the race for the White House exactly 2 weeks out until America elects our next president, and Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton have their eyes locked on the key battleground state of Florida.
Kristen Fisher is live in Washington with some brand new polls showing just how close this race is. Good morning, Kristen.
Good morning. Well, with 2 weeks to go, Trump says he's winning, but he's down in almost every major national poll. This one from CNN ORC out yesterday is Clinton ahead by 5 points, 49 to 44. That margin is almost identical to the Real Clear Politics average of polls. And then another one from Monmouth University. This one shows a much tighter race. It is Clinton ahead by just 1 point, 47 to 46. But Trump says every poll that has him losing is wrong and the media is to blame. Yesterday, at several campaign stops across Florida, he accused the media of running dark polls, ones that weigh heavily on Democratic voters. Instead, Trump pointed to the few polls that show he is winning.
Some great polls have just come out. I believe we're actually winning. If you read the New York Times and if you read some of these phony papers, these are phony, disgusting, dishonest papers. What they do is they show these phony polls where they look at Democrats, and it's heavily weighted with Democrats.
But the Clinton campaign is confident that Trump's wrong and confident that they'll win. So much so, they're now spending valuable time helping down-ballot Democrats try to retake the Senate. Yesterday, Clinton campaigned with New Hampshire Governor Maggie Hassan, who's locked in a tight Senate race against the Republican incumbent Kelly Ayotte. But it was Senator Elizabeth Warren who delivered the most memorable line of the day by seizing upon something that Trump said during the last debate. Listen to this.
He thinks that because he has money, that he can call women fat pigs and bimbos. Women have had it with guys like you. Nasty women are tough. Nasty women are smart. And nasty women vote.
Now, today, both Trump and Clinton will be campaigning in Florida. Then they're off to other battleground states like North Carolina and Ohio. And those could be the states that make all the difference 2 weeks from today.
We just went through that. Scott Rasmussen said there are about 6 states that can make a difference.
Yeah. All right, Kristen, great to see you this morning. Thanks so much. Now to a Fox Business alert. Double-digit rate hikes for Obamacare, adding up to another broken promise from Nancy Pelosi.
Affordable. Affordable. There's a reason. Affordable. 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 Pointing that finger, if she says it enough, maybe she thinks it'll be true, but not so much. Cheryl Casoni from our sister network, Fox Business, here to break down the skyrocketing cost for the president's signature health care law. Good morning, Cheryl.
Good morning, guys. Not even that finger pointing could make it true. Talk about sticker shock. Double-digit premium increases for Obamacare participants next year, with many consumers just having one choice for a health insurance provider. The White House confirming that premiums will increase by an average of 25% next year. And some states are going to see even bigger price hikes. Premiums in Arizona are set to go up, for example, 116%. And in total, 39 states are serviced by Obamacare. Now, Donald Trump at a rally said the country can't afford the president's signature health care plan, and he used former President Bill Clinton's words against him. Listen.
Even Bill Clinton admitted Obamacare is the craziest thing in the world. It's going to destroy the American family, and it's destroying American business, especially small business.
Well, other government officials tried to calm fears. Health and Human Services Secretary Sylvia Burwell says that, well, all is well. Here's the tweet. Most people shopping on healthcare.gov, will again find plans with premiums of less than $75 per month thanks to financial assistance. Now, in addition, about 1 in 5 consumers are going to have to pick a plan from just one insurer after major companies like United Health Group, Humana, and Aetna move to leave the Obamacare exchanges. Many Republicans want the law repealed. Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton has proposed a range of fixes. Back to you.
All right, Cheryl Casoni from the Fox Business Network with the breakdown of that. Thanks, Cheryl.
Thank you, Cheryl. So, dare we say snow? Yep, some places seeing their first flakes already. That's hard to believe.
That's unbelievable. Let's check in with our guest meteorologist this morning, Adam Kloss, from our affiliate WAGA in Atlanta. So you come up from Atlanta, Adam, and you bring snow with you. Nice to see you.
Oh, man, it makes me want to be back in Atlanta. The temperature freezing out there this morning. Well, not really freezing, but for me it was freezing. Down into the 40s this morning, and that snow just around the corner. Seeing some already of places a little farther to the north. And we are going to be seeing, yes, that 4-letter word. Temperatures in the upper Midwest getting down into the 30s early this morning. 39 degrees in Chicago, 37 degrees in Cincinnati. Now warmer air out into the plain states, but we are going to be dealing with some very cold air along along the East Coast before you know it. Here's what the past 6 hours looks like. Not a lot happening out there right now. Maybe just some very light flakes running up into upper New York, but there's a larger system heading this way along with some colder air, and that's when we're going to be talking about some snow. Here's your futurecast. You're going to be looking at a cold front settling across the upper Midwest, maybe bringing a little bit of severe weather through the Chicago area into Indiana, Ohio, the Ohio River Valley there. But as that heads into some of the colder air we're talking about, look at that running into places like New Jersey, possibly getting up into New York. This is the first real cold blast of the year, and we're talking about Thursday morning for this. So some really cold air on the way, lifting its way eventually up into the extreme northeast. Here's your temperatures. Today's highs running up to 52 degrees is it. 46 degrees up into the Buffalo area, and we continue 57 degrees into Washington on Wednesday, 51 here in New York. That cold air is going to be hanging around, and especially through the overnight hours, temperatures are going to be falling down into the 30s on those days. So certainly some cold air is on the way, guys. And
so I see you're being very festive too. Are those orange pumpkin socks?
These are not pumpkin socks,
but
they are orange. Do you know, sometimes you have to turn the volume up a little bit.
Yeah.
So now this is
people hear you. These are NASA socks.
NASA socks.
Yeah, we've got the International Space Station there.
Oh, Kristen Fisher.
Oh, nice.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So now you have a gallery. I understand at WAGA you guys they have like a gallery of your socks every morning on the
I once upon a time I wore some Rain Man socks. That's Sean Kemp. Growing up, I watched him, and I was like, the Rain Man, I'm the Rain Man, because I'm talking about the weather.
Where do you get
people
all these?
loved it, and I was like, all right, I'm going to get some more socks, and it's kind of snowballed.
Where? People like send them to you, or because those are some cool socks.
These are some cool socks. I go out and find them. People want to send me socks. Yeah, I get them from everywhere.
Wait, that's a brilliant ploy. You just basically say, I wear funky socks, and then you just get great socks. People mail them to you.
There you go.
Brilliant.
Before you know it, I'm going to have my own sock line. You know, I didn't want to come empty-handed. I actually brought you some socks.
You brought me some socks?
Yeah. Georgia Bulldog socks.
With the Bulldog socks. I will wear, you know what, I'll wear these this weekend on Fox and Friends. How about that?
Yes,
thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You know who else wears funky socks around here, though? Michael Tamaro. So I think you guys might get into a little bit of a competition about that. Michael Tamaro, if you're watching, check out these socks.
Yeah, look at those socks.
I just wear the same black socks every day, so no one can tell. Can you tell?
If you have on funky socks?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to look for those this weekend.
I haven't changed them in 4 months.
Right. Well, we all heard you'll wear them.
Great to see you, Adam. Thanks for the socks.
Thank you, Adam.
My producers say, yeah, that's disgusting. Yeah, that's disgusting.
You washed them, though.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. Or am I?
Woo, I thought I smelled something. The time now is about 20 minutes until the top of the hour. Donald Trump offering up an alternative to what he calls the rigged media, the GOP nominee's brand new nightly news show.
Could this be a precursor of what to see after the election? Well, refugee refusal. The town taking action to stop Syrian refugees from coming there.
And runaway car, the bizarre moment a man runs into the middle of a busy intersection, yet chasing down his own car.
Hey, welcome back. Angels under attack, a terrifying new warning on the heels of a major announcement from the Victoria's Secret fashion show. Their infamous runway show will be in Paris for the first time ever, but officials there are keeping that location under wraps for fear of a terror attack. Security officials putting in overtime to stop possible plots.
Heightened security concerns motivating leaders in one Detroit suburb to unanimously block Syrian refugees.
We've got veterans that need help, much more than these refugees.
If they can't provide for themselves, and if they can't be vetted, then there's no place for them here.
We're a country who's based on diversity.
Now, even though the resolution passed, the town can't legally block those resettlements.
Well, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton fighting for the millennial vote. But just what do the millennials know about the election?
Jesse Waters, leave it to him. He gave college kids a campaign quiz.
Have you been following the election closely?
Yeah, I guess.
I don't feel very good.
Who are the vice presidential candidates?
I have no idea.
But I haven't been, really focused on the vice presidents.
What the hell is the world coming to?
Who are the vice presidential candidates?
Republican nominee Donald Trump and Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton.
We'll start with the Republican.
Sarah Palin?
No.
Mike?
Man. It's a lot of mics, I know.
Mike.
Clinton.
Mike Clinton.
I'm sorry, I don't really know.
Mike Pence.
You serious?
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
The other guy, the Democrat, Tim
Horton.
I want to get this down on a tape recorder because nobody's going to believe me.
Kane and
Mike Pence and Kane.
When is the election?
November, probably the 28th, probably.
I don't want to hear this.
Next month. November.
Exactly. When is the election?
November 4th. Election day. Let's count it that.
Good answer.
November 8th?
Do you know who I am?
No.
Larville Jones. Monsignor Larville Jones.
I'm Waters. I'm Waters. I'm Waters. And this is my world.
Pleasure to meet you, Tom. Thank you.
My name's Jesse.
Aww. Pleasure to meet you, Tom.
Wow.
That's what our own Brian Kilmeade does, by the way. Anytime he's out in public, he's, do you know who I am?
Oh,
do you know who I am?
This is Brian's world?
This is Brian's world. Brian Kilmeade joining us this morning with what's coming up on Fox and Friends this morning. Hey,
I always do that, whether it's getting a ticket or on the line with the deli. If I'm trying to get a turkey sandwich with mustard
do you know who
and
I am?
rye, I'll just say, do you know who I am? Why am I fourth online? Hey, guys, I know a lot of you, I know you're wondering who's going to win the election. A lot of people focus on the Gallup poll, the Pew poll, maybe even the LA Times tracking poll. Here's the big question as we gradually zoom out, and that's I know normally you don't do this early. The question is, what mask is the most popular for Halloween? Will it be Donald Trump? Oops, Donald Trump? Or will it be Hillary Clinton? Or one of these people Chris Chulo? Or one of them Joel? We don't know.
So that's the better poll to pay attention to is the Halloween mask poll. Forget all those other polls.
That's exactly my point. Also coming up, and tell me, guys, what do you think I should promo out of all these, Hillary? Out of all these, we also have coming up. Dana Perino is going to be here. Stuart Varney's going to be here, and Kevin McCarthy is going to be talking about what's going on with the California National Guard and them wanting money back.
Yeah, that's a big
That's
story.
all coming up. This is the first time. This is the first time Joel's really put his arm around me.
I wear a Brian Kilmeade mask when I go to the deli.
Do you?
They send me to the back of the line.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting how they always freeze the face in some weird expression. So.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
6 a.m. starting in 12 minutes. Brian, great to see you this morning. Thanks, Hillary. Thanks, Donald.
Thank you. And we'll be right back. Don't go away. Welcome back. The Trump campaign turning to social media in their latest push to win over voters.
Carly Shimkus with Fox News Headlines 24/7, Sirius XM 115 here with the Facebook takeover. This seems like an interesting strategy from the Trump campaign.
You're right, and Donald Trump has used social media throughout his campaign, but this here might be his most groundbreaking move yet. Trump kicking his campaign into high gear by launching a nightly news show on Facebook called Trump Tower Live.
We're going to each night about 6:30 come to you live right here from the Trump campaign war room. And we're going to lead right into Mr. Trump's rallies.
Well, the very first episode hosted by Trump's advisors debuted yesterday, and within a few minutes, more than 60,000 viewers tuned in. The Trump campaign says the show will allow them to bypass the mainstream media's left-wing spin, but are denying any rumors that it's a precursor to the rumored Trump TV network.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Pretty close, though.
That's a smart move. Lined it up 2 weeks before the election.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So Fisher-Price facing a backlash involving a mom and smoothies. What is this about?
Fisher-Price is in hot water for what some are calling a sexist toy. Baltimore mom Gina Zuck-Gerber was shopping at Toys R Us when she spotted a toy SUV and female doll that says, "Time for yogurt and a smoothie," when you press a button. Gerber posted a picture of it on her Facebook page saying Fisher-Price needs to show women working in all types of fields and leadership roles. A lot of women responding, but not everyone seems to agree. Courtney writes, because all women do is yoga and sip smoothies. Oh, Fisher-Price, you screwed up big time. But Susan says, I think it's just a toy. Get over it. So she got some smoothies. Maybe it was her day off. Duh. Well, anyway, Fisher-Price has apologized.
They apologized?
That's right.
All right, so we were talking about this, a picture of one of my favorite comedians, Bill Murray.
Love him.
Or Tom Hanks. What's going on here on this photo is going viral?
Yeah, one of the stranger things I've seen on social media this week, Bill Murray and Tom Hanks, they're the two of the most recognizable faces in Hollywood, but strangely, people can't seem to agree which actor was photographed in this picture.
Oh, that's
Murray.
That's Tom Hanks.
Oh,
Bill Murray.
see?
Really?
Oh,
I think
I
it's
love
Tom
this.
Hanks.
It's Bill Murray.
Well, let me let me provide the answer.
Looks like he's at a golf course, probably Murray.
And you're right. The woman who posted it confirmed that it is a photo of Bill Murray, but some people don't believe it. Amanda says totally thought that was Tom Hanks. Amy echoes that. She writes, I swear that was Tom Hanks. But John, he cracked the case. He says, it's actually simple. If you're a big fan like me, Bill has a scar on his left cheek in this picture, so it's 100% Bill. Wow. Isn't that a strange picture, though? I can't decide who it looks like more.
Say that might be creepier that he knows about the scar. You're right.
Yeah.
All right. That is pretty interesting.
Yeah. You know, I played crossword puzzles with Bill Murray on a plane ride once.
What?
Yep, the entire ride.
That could be your whole last block.
Yep.
Thank you, Carly.
Thank you.
All right, time is now 54 minutes after the hour. A sweet surprise for a little girl who lost her father in the line of duty. Her first day back to school, and she didn't have one escort, but 12.
And mid-show malfunction, the Britney Spears wardrobe woe that has everyone talking.
And welcome back. 58 minutes now after the hour. Before you leave the house, here's what's happening today. An all-out manhunt intensifying by the minute for a crazed killer and cop shooter who could be anywhere. Michael Vance is accused of killing his aunt and uncle after shooting 2 cops with an AK-47 outside of Oklahoma City. The madman posting live Facebook videos as he ran away from police. And early voting begins in Hawaii, Louisiana, and Utah today, bringing the total number of states already casting ballots to 10. And the Game 1 of the World Series kicks off tonight. The Cleveland Indians and the Chicago Cubs facing off at Cleveland's Progressive Field at 8 Eastern. Can't wait for that.
Game 1. Well, time now for the good, the bad, and the ugly. First, the good. The daughter of a fallen officer gets a very special escort to school. More than a dozen police officers taking 8-year-old Vanessa Vega back to class after 2 weeks off in Palm Springs, California. And now the bad. A guy runs straight into oncoming traffic. Look at this. Coming within inches of big rigs after his car takes a joyride of its own. When he forgot to put it in park, ouch, it finally stopped after crashing into a sign. And finally, the ugly. What happens in Vegas doesn't necessarily stay in Vegas for Britney Spears. Yep, the pop star suffering a wardrobe malfunction. They tried to fix it mid-show, but then it snapped again, and then she used a flannel shirt.
Flannel shirt.
Yeah.
Fox and Friends starts right now.
There you go. Have a great day. Bye.
Good morning to you and your family. It's Tuesday. It's October 25th. I'm Ainsley Earhart. A defiant Donald Trump refusing to back down, speaking to a massive crowd as tens of thousands of supporters rallied down in the great state of Florida.
Watch the polls, because this is part of the crooked system. It's part of the rigged system that I've been talking about since I entered the race. I understand it. It's a rigged system. They put out phony polls.
Meanwhile, a much different picture from the Clinton-Kaine rally. Should Democrats be worried about the turnout come November 8th?
Yeah, I think that's the Kaine rally down in Palm Beach. Meanwhile, another day, another batch of embarrassing email, this time not only for Hillary Clinton, but dozens of her friends in the mainstream media. An off-the-record meeting with the biggest names in journalism. Guess what? Not so off-the-record anymore. Who's on that list? We got pictures.
Better not be Ainsley. She's got something. She
I'm
was
not on
gone
that
yesterday. And surprised the doctor won't see you unless you pay double. The White House finally admits Obamacare rates are going through the roof. But don't get yourself down. They found a way to give the story a positive spin. Are you going to buy it? Are you spinnable? Answer that question alone, because I can't hear you. Let me remind you, you're with friends.
Yep. Welcome back, Ainsley. We missed you yesterday.
Thanks. It was great.
You went home, right?
I did. Remember I was telling you my dad turned 70, so we all went to the beach, and it was a great time. We went to Debadoo. Have you ever heard of Debadoo? It's in South Carolina.
I have not been. I actually have not spent considerable time in South Carolina, so I'm going to need a Hagstrom.
You have to go to the Earhart household, then.
I have to.
Mom will make you lots of good food.
As long as it's shrimp and grits. My favorite food in the whole wide world.
She can do that, and she can do everything.
Fantastic.
She's a great cook.
We're coming down. All right. Meanwhile, we are now officially 2 weeks away away from Election Day. Today is a Tuesday. 2 Tuesdays from now, we do the voting. And nominees are setting their sights on the must-win battleground states.
Donald Trump arriving to a roaring crowd. Look at that, of 20,000 people down in Florida. The polls show that Hillary Clinton is pulling ahead.
Right. I know CBS had it too close to call. We have team coverage now for the Sunshine State. Our own Steve Harrigan is live in Coconut Creek. That's where we assigned him anyway. He's in Florida following Hillary Clinton. But first, Steve, sorry to let you down. We're going to go to Fox's senior national correspondent. He outranks you. He is John Roberts. John, you pulled rank. How are you today?
Brian, Ainsley, Steve, good morning to you. I'm in Little Havana this morning. Brian, get out your Hagstrom and figure out where that is. We're at the corner of Southwest 9th Street and 18th Avenue in front of the Bay of Pigs Museum. Why are we here? It's because the 2506 Assault Brigade, which was the brigade that went into the ill-fated Bay of Pigs invasion, has, for the very first time in its 55-year history, endorsed a presidential candidate. That candidate is Donald Trump, and he will be here later on today. Now, what's going on in Florida right now is all about the early voting. Voters here in Miami-Dade County began going to the polls yesterday. They'll go again today and for the rest of the week and all the way up to November the 8th. The Clinton campaign claiming an advantage among Hispanics, saying Hispanic turnout the first day of early voting was up 99% over 2012, but the Republicans do seem to have a little bit of an edge in the number of early mail-in ballots that have been returned. And you mentioned that rally in Tampa yesterday. I mean, it was just incredible. Donald Trump put 20,000 people into an amphitheater in Tampa yesterday, claiming that the polls are rigged against him. And by looking at the crowd that you see out there, you kind of wonder how could he possibly be behind, saying don't believe the polls because he's going to win. Also taking sharp aim at Hillary Clinton over the news that one of her closest allies, Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe, directed nearly $500,000 from his political PAC to the campaign of the wife of the Deputy Director of the FBI, Andrew McCabe, the guy who was overseeing the Hillary Clinton email investigation. Here's what Trump said about that.
Her best friend and absolutely closest ally gives $675,000 in campaign contributions to the woman who's married to the FBI person who's doing the investigation. No wonder they found nothing wrong. Everybody here knows that she's 100% guilty.
That $675,000 figure included $200,000 from the Virginia Democratic Party for mail-ins. If you take a look at the national polls, Donald Trump still trails Hillary Clinton by 5 points in a new CNN ORC poll. But take a look at the battleground of North Carolina. The race there very much closer. A new Monmouth poll shows Hillary Clinton up by a single point, 47-46. Donald Trump and his campaign insist they are still in the game here. There are 14 days left until people go to the polls en masse, so we'll see if he can close the gap between now and then. Brian, Ainsley, Steve?
All right, Johnny, thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, if he can maximize the vote out in Tampa, that's going to be key to winning Florida. Meanwhile, Hillary Clinton and Elizabeth Warren back together on the campaign trail, but the new leaked emails mean trouble in liberal paradise, perhaps.
Steve Harrigan is live in Coconut Creek, Florida, where Clinton will hold a rally just a few hours from now. Good morning, Steve.
Ainsley, about 8 hours from that rally where Hillary Clinton will try to get out the early vote here in Florida, which started Monday. Yesterday in New Hampshire, it was all hugs and smiles on the campaign trail between Secretary Clinton and Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren. It was their first joint appearance since a leak of documents from WikiLeaks described some of Warren's supporters as, quote, crazy leftists and dumb. On the campaign trail, as usual, Clinton turned to Senator Warren to play the attack dog role against Donald Trump.
Women have had it with guys like you. And nasty women have really had it with guys like you. Get this, Donald. Nasty women are tough. Nasty women are smart. And nasty women vote.
The big push here now in Florida on the Democratic side is for early voting. Right now, more than 1.2 million people have voted early in Florida, either in person or absentee. Tim Kaine was here yesterday. Hillary Clinton today. Former President Bill Clinton is in the state campaigning, and President Obama comes back Friday, a real sign of how important this key battleground state is going to be in the last 2 weeks. Ainsley, Steve, and Brian, back to you.
All right, Steve Harrigan live in Coconut Creek, Florida.
All right, let's talk about enthusiasm. Elizabeth Warren had it yesterday when she had that crowd with Hillary Clinton, but for the most part, the enthusiasm belonged to Donald Trump. However, these polls show Clinton could be closing the gap.
That's right. Let's go ahead and take a look at, okay, so that was Tampa. The enthusiasm gap, as you can see, Hillary Clinton is at 52% with very enthusiastic, and Donald Trump at 49%. Fairly, the point is about this. You're right, Brian, they closed the gap, but what's interesting is this ABC News poll that we talked about yesterday actually sampled 9% more Democrats than probably they should have. And so some, in the blogosphere are saying that's a rigged poll.
So wait a minute. They sampled more Democrats?
9% more Democrats.
So then you get that result.
Well,
that more people are enthusiastic about Hillary Clinton. But if you
now
look
you see
at
what
these
Donald
polls,
Trump's talking about.
I know. If you look at these rallies, though, Donald Trump is getting. I've been to these rallies. People are coming from hundreds of miles away. They're getting thousands of people. Look at the difference. That's Trump's rally on the left. That was where Tim Kaine, who's running for vice president under Hillary, that's his rally. 30, according to the articles I'm reading, 30 people were there.
Yeah.
Looks like maybe, 30 to 50 people are there.
Yeah.
So, big difference.
Yeah, here's the question. Is there a hidden Donald Trump vote that the pollsters aren't picking up on? I get it all the time on the radio. We get it when we walk around saying, I'm never polled. I don't understand. We go, the enthusiasm's never been greater. Donald Trump is scratching his head. And he spent all yesterday just saying, do not believe the polls. They're trying to discourage you from coming out. Rush Limbaugh, the most impactful radio host in the history of man, weighed in.
The polling data in 1980 had Jimmy Carter 9 points, winning by 9 points 4 or 5 days out. I will never forget that election night, folks. In 1980, it was so bad for the Democrats. They got skunked so bad. Jimmy Carter conceded before 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Before the polls in California were even closed. I remember that. You should have seen the network. Remember, there's 3 networks back. There's ABC, CBS, and NBC. That's it. CNN was around, but they had just started. They were not much of a factor. Those 3 networks, you should have seen the long faces. And all of the reporters that were at various campaign headquarter locations.
I was driving around yesterday when Rush was talking about that. Look, the mainstream media says the race is over. But we've seen too many elections where at the last minute, for some reason, something moved the needle and the candidate bounced back. It's not over. All depends on who goes out to vote. And if you just base it on, are you happy with the establishment, Hillary Clinton's going to win. Well, if you want change, the anti-establishment is Donald Trump. And if their people get out to win, I think we will know 2 weeks from today.
Rush was saying the Democrats, they think that they wrapped it up, that Trump is history. And he said that's why Hillary Clinton and her camp, they're now moving into the red states, like Texas and Utah, trying to campaign there because they think they've wrapped it up in the blue states.
Right, in Arizona. I would add this. I think if Donald Trump wants to move the needle and if nothing else happens, I think there's an opportunity now to have that speech. Well, listen, I'm not the perfect candidate. I'm different. A lot of things have happened you haven't heard before. Right. But I think you know what I bring to the table, what I could do. That's why I turned this thing around. Give a whole, not saying I apologize for anything that's happened, but acknowledge the fact that some people are uneasy about things that have happened.
And that he's not a career politician.
Right, that he's not. Well, we pretty much got that message. But I would say that just some of the things that have happened, without going into this woman or that person or Billy Bush, just say, I know there's some things, but you have to understand something. The $19 trillion debt, the military, what's going on. I'll put together the best, meanest, leanest team, and we'll get this done.
I think that's the key. What do you want in the next 4 years? You got a choice, and it's very clear.
All right, let's hand it over to Heather, who has some more headlines for us this morning. Hey, Heather.
Hello, good morning, and welcome back, Ainsley. Great to have you back. We start out right now with a Fox News alert, and there is an all-out manhunt intensifying by the hour for a crazed killer and cop shooter who police say could be anywhere. Michael Vance posted videos live to Facebook while he was running from police. He's accused of killing his aunt and uncle and shooting 2 police officers with an AK-47. All of that horror unfolding outside Oklahoma City.
Letting y'all know, look, this is real. See, that's a gun. That's the real deal. It ain't a joke. This ain't a prank. I'm going live. if you want to know what's up next, stay tuned to your local news.
Goodness, that is who police are looking for, so keep an eye out for that man. Police say that he is armed and dangerous and may be driving this silver car. Disgraceful and insulting, that's what lawmakers are calling the Pentagon's plan to force 10,000 veterans to pay back their reenlistment bonuses. The average amount the government says they owe, $15,000 per service member. Even more shocking, the California National Guard now says that it warned Congress about it 2 years ago.
It's terrible. It's going to make, we are going to go broke. I mean, if this continues, we're already using up our savings to pay for it.
Well, coming up this hour, California Representative Kevin McCarthy will explain what law.
The interim DNC chair intervened to get the operation moved from the DNC to a progressive group called Americans United for Change because she purportedly feared trademark trouble with Disney. Yet at one point in the new video, an assistant press secretary says the committee still had a hand in the operation.
So we're not taking credit for the ducking one. That's like random alley groups. But it's also something that we're involved in. We just have to be careful about these things and when we talk about them and we know about certain things. But you guys are, I trust that they'll all be fine.
Now, here's something else. Neither the Clinton campaign nor the DNC responded to our request for comment. However, in response to last week's videos, both accused Veritas of selective editing. Heather?
Interesting. Donald Duck now involved in all this. How'd that happen?
Disney has a problem with it. Thanks,
yeah,
Kelly.
I bet. Thank you, Kelly. Well, Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clark, meantime, he is slamming the Democrats, saying that they will do whatever it takes to win the election.
Democrat operatives are some scummy, scummy people. Every time we think we've reached the bottom of the sewer with them, we find out we have a long way to go. They are up to their eyeballs in corruption. Their model to win elections is to cheat, lie, and steal, and then if they get caught, to just send their minions out to deny. You look at what's going on here, and we haven't seen the end of it, but really what I find problematic is that the Democrats don't care how they win elections. They just care that they win elections.
And take a look at this Fox News poll. It was released last month, and it finds that 64% of voters think...
And nasty women vote.
And many of those women and other Americans are already voting in Florida, where early voting started yesterday, which is why that's where both Trump and Clinton will spend almost all of their time today, with 2 weeks to go exactly until Election Day.
Did you ever think we'd
Heather and
get here?
Clayton.
I did not.
It's almost
it seems
over.
like we've been doing this for 5 years now.
We have. Back in 2010, we started this race. Good to see you this morning, Kristen.
Thank you.
See you guys.
More trouble for the Clinton campaign as a third bombshell video exposing illegal coordination between Hillary Clinton and PACs. It also confirms Clinton personally ordered Donald Duck to troll Donald Trump. Kelly Wright is here with what exactly the new video shows. Good morning, Kelly.
I almost said quack, quack, but I won't. For a while this summer, Donald Duck emerged as a prominent figure on the campaign trail. Costumed figures resembling the Disney character, as captured by Fox News cameras, showed up at Trump rallies outside his Washington hotel, even harassing surrogates in Congress, each time chastising the GOP nominee for ducking releasing tax returns. And now, in the latest undercover video from Project Veritas, we hear once again from Bob Creamer, the former DNC consultant whose contract was severed after the first Project Veritas video last week. Creamer says that Hillary Clinton is behind the Donald Duck's operation.
In the end, it was the candidate, Hillary Clinton, the future president of the United States, who wanted ducks on the ground. And by God, we will get ducks on the ground.
So it's, wow.
Don't repeat that statement.
Okay. Creamer also alleges that Donna Brazile now...
It's Tuesday, October 25th. This is a Fox News alert. An urgent manhunt happening right now for the crazed killer who opened fire on 2 police officers.
Letting y'all know, look, this is real. See? That's a gun. That's the real deal. This ain't a joke. This ain't a prank.
The suspect leaving behind a trail of violence and streaming his escape live on Facebook.
2 weeks until America elects its next president, and it is down to the wire. Both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton looking to win over voters in the must-win state of Florida.
You can already get your absentee ballot. Get out, Get it? Let's start the voting.
And there's some brand new evidence showing Clinton's direct involvement, some say, in trying to smear Trump.
And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, another Samsung phone just exploded. But get this, it's not that Galaxy Note 7 which explodes.
Oh.
Uh-oh. What every consumer needs to know, Fox and Friends First starts right now. So nice.
Good morning to you. It is going to be a lovely day. Our very own Kelly Wright actually sings that song in his show here in New York City.
I think he's singing over in the studio right now. It doesn't get any better when Bill Withers kicks off your morning.
Absolutely.
So nice.
It's going to be a good day. You're watching Fox and Friends First. I'm Heather Childers.
And don't you have one of those Samsung phones?
I do, and I hope that that's not the same one, but we'll find out.
We'll find out. I'm Clayton Morris. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for starting your day with us. We begin with the race for the White House. Exactly 2 weeks until America elects our next president. And Donald Trump and
Hillary Clinton is untrustworthy.
Into a Fox News alert now, an all-out manhunt intensifying by the minute for a crazed killer and cop shooter who could be anywhere. Police say Michael Vance posted videos live to Facebook while running from police. And he's accused of killing his aunt and uncle and shooting 2 cops with an AK-47. And all of the horror unfolding outside of Oklahoma City.
That's a gun. That's the real deal. This ain't a joke. This ain't a prank. I'm going live. If you want to know what's up next, stay tuned to your local news.
Police warning Vance is armed and dangerous and may be driving this silver 2007 Mitsubishi Eclipse sedan.
A critical search underway by air, land, and water, ramping up by the hour for missing college student Zuzu Verk. A reward now at $100,000 as police and her family plead for her on-again, off-again boyfriend, Robert Fabian, to come forward. Now, she was last heard from 2 weeks ago. This was after they went on a date in Southwest Texas. Police now calling him a person of interest.
Nearly 800 terrorists confirmed dead as U.S. troops meet heavy resistance overnight in the fight to take Mosul. A Pentagon spokesman says jihadists poured burning oil into a sulfur mine, sending toxic fumes into the air and forcing soldiers to wear gas masks. They've retaken 78 towns and villages from the grasps of terror since the mission launched last week.
Disgraceful and insulting. That is what lawmakers are calling the Pentagon's plan to force 10,000 veterans to pay back their re-enlistment bonuses.
Hillary Clinton have their eyes locked on the key battleground state of Florida.
Kristen Fisher's live for us in Washington with some brand new polls showing just how close the race is. Good morning, Kristen.
Good morning. So even though Trump's own campaign manager has conceded that he's behind, the candidate himself is refusing to do so. In fact, he's saying the exact opposite. Yesterday, during several stops across Florida, Trump said he's winning, and every poll that shows him losing is wrong.
These are what they call them dark polls. They are phony polls put out by phony media. They try and suppress the vote. This way people don't go out and vote. But we're winning this race. I really believe we're winning. There's never been anything like this.
But almost every major poll tells a totally different story. This one from CNN ORC out yesterday is Clinton ahead by 5 points, 44 to 49. That margin is almost identical to the Real Clear Politics average of polls. But another one from Monmouth University is a little bit better for Trump. It has Clinton ahead by just 1 point, 47 to 46. Still, with 2 weeks to go, the Clinton campaign is confident. So much so that they're now spending valuable time helping down-ballot Democrats try to retake the Senate. Yesterday, Clinton campaigned with New Hampshire Governor Maggie Hassan, who's locked in a tight Senate race against the Republican incumbent Kelly Ayotte. But it was Senator Elizabeth Warren who delivered the most memorable line of the day by seizing upon something that Trump said during the last debate.
He thinks that because he has money, that he can call women fat pigs and bimbos. Women have had it with guys like you. Nasty women are tough. Nasty women are smart.